All right, Elon Musk is saying that he's having meetings with the Saudis that preceded this tweet on taking Tesla private. It's all a mishmash to a lot of folks who just want to know how you're going to pull that off in the first place. But whether he could be stepping into some legal hot water with some of his statements, Charlie Gasparino following all of that. What's going on here?
Nice to see you back.
Same
By the
here,
way,
my friend.
your office is kind of like a situation room. You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
I got some tapes on you.
Yeah, but I had disguises.
You know,
I'm a master of impression.
Can't disguise your insider trading and your calls to your bookie. Very difficult.
Is that so?
Sal knows exactly.
They know Sal?
Yes.
All right, good. Fine.
Okay, getting back to the topic.
Oh, yeah, why
actually do some work, right?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Here's the thing. I haven't met a single securities lawyer that thinks, and I'm not saying he's going to jail, I'm not saying he did anything wrong. This is what when you speak to people like Harvey Pitt, former SEC chairman, and others that do this for a living, they think there's real problems with that tweet, funding secured, even with what happened
What
today.
does it mean? When he's saying funding secured, he is saying, I can do this. I can pull this private effort.
I have people signed on. It's secured.
So here's where I'm going to ask you a series of dumb questions. What is wrong with making that statement?
If no one has signed the document, if people can back out of the funding, if because they can back out of it, the price is not worth $380, but it's really worth back to where it was. What's it trading at now? $350? That's a problem, because that takes out the private.
They've lost money in this venture.
Well, he pumped up the stock based on something that's materially false, allegedly, and I think that's.
But what if he? I understand that, but at face value, accepted. Let's say it was the Saudi consortium had the money to give him and told him that. Well, what's illegal?
It's if they did and they said it's yours if you want it, and we'll take you private tomorrow, then he might be okay. But we don't hear. Has anybody heard from the Saudis that they're about to write the check now? That they have the documentation? I mean, this is.
So what is the rule of thumb with this? You remember when Dell went private? How was that handled? It's been a while. Now they're talking about going public, but how was that done?
Well, that was done through official documents
right.
and PR Newswire, and it leaked out that he was thinking of going private first. I remember Bloomberg broke the story, but it was because
my memory is that too that in cases where we see public companies want to go private, it always leaks out.
Listen,
now, what crosses the line potentially?
Well, it's okay to leak out. Remember, it leaked out that the Saudis were taking a 5% stake in Tesla right before. 10 minutes later, he put out his funding secured, which in itself is a whole other ball of wax, which looks weird. I mean, here's the whole thing. Why do we have securities laws? We have securities laws so insiders can't mess around with the stock price and hold one group of investors above the public investors. It's very basic for the securities laws in the 33 and 34 Act. Those laws are all about disclosure. You have to disclose stuff. It has to be reasonably at the same time. They've increased that level of disclosure with Reg FD recently. But on top of that, it has to be reasonably true, because you don't want to give people, you don't want to manipulate the stock. You don't want to give the CEO or the board members the ability to hurt a certain class of investors.
But aren't your shareholders going to be concerned? Now, this has been like hitting pay dirt for the most part, if you're an early investor in Tesla, right?
Right.
So you would be against a private move, wouldn't you?
Not at 420 if you're an early investor, right? And it squeezes the shorts, right? This is
those who are betting the stock
going to go down. Right. Guys like Jim Chanos. And here's one other thing people are forgetting: in December, if there's a convertible, I think $1 billion convert that's due in December, or I think the maturity date is February, but it could start paying off in December.
Right.
If the stock is above 360, my understanding is. Tesla only has to pay additional shares. It converts into stock. If the stock is below 360, that converts into cash. That means they have to come up with $1 billion of cash.
What's in it for him?
Squeezing the shorts, getting the stock price up.
But I mean, private, is he any richer than he would be public?
He owns a lot of stock. If it trades at 420, he makes a lot of money.
But you could make the argument that the stock was heading in that direction on its own.
it was coming down, and there's more skepticism. I think the real question is this with Musk, and I don't think a lot of people know where he wants to ultimately go with this, is, and you can't, I mean, the securities laws are not designed for us to get in his brain cells.
Yeah.
It's not, because then you're playing a fool's game. It's all about disclosure and whether your disclosures are reasonably accurate. If your disclosures on accounting are not reasonably accurate, well, there's a lot of laws that put CEOs and CFOs in jail now, post-Enron particularly. If your public disclosures, what you say about a stock, and this has gone on, I mean, this is part of the Securities Acts of 33 and 34. If those aren't reasonably accurate, you have a problem. It's not our job to get in his head. We shouldn't have to do that. We should just be able to look at a tweet, which is now a way of publicly communicating with investors, and figure out whether it's reasonably accurate. If it's not reasonably accurate, if the SEC does not do something to him, there is no reason for a Securities and Exchange Commission. None. Because this is the foundation of securities laws is you have to tell investors reasonably accurate information. Obviously, if you make a mistake, that's one thing. You come out and you correct it.
But the people you've talked to, just to recap, think that he stepped on this.
Unless they see funding secured soon, and they're skeptical, okay? Because remember, the Saudis didn't come out. Saudis bought a 5% stake. They didn't come out with a statement saying, and we want to go public, we want to take a private. Now, maybe they will, and he's fine. Maybe they won't.
But he does have a big mouth, right?
Listen, I just wonder about this guy. Listen, we talk about the president's tweets all the time. If there was one person that rivals the president's in aberrant tweeting,
absolutely,
it's this guy.
Absolutely.
And by the way, the president can pardon himself, theoretically. He can't.
That's very good. You brought your A game today.
Thank you. It was you.
I heard that you were mailing it in for Connell.
Let me tell you something. I was so excited to see you.
Same here.
And you know, I just thought I was up all night, and I couldn't.
You know, you really are an awful human being.
I'm just saying, I was up all night. I couldn't sleep. I was telling my wife, I'm like, Neil's tomorrow.
Okay.
By the way, they cut me off. My wife said,
they did cut you off.
My wife said, do you wish Neil was on the other side of this bed?
That's fine. Look at the time. He's the best. I mean, multiple best-selling author on all of these type of subjects. When it wasn't cool to be talking about this, he was talking about it. So we joke a lot here, but I'm telling you, he's the best.